Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. We've got a very special trailer for multiple reasons. Very first, this is a 2025 Cimarron Showstar LX. So with it being a 25 model, this is Cimarron's 25th anniversary. So this is a special edition here that we're looking at. On top of that, this is going to be the very first trailer that's hit the ground with the new caribou sheeting. This is going to match Ford's caribou color that they have on their new pickups. This is the very first one. Cimarron kind of announced it late last fall saying, hey, we got this new color, we're excited about it. It's got some metallic flakes to it. It's going to match some of these color schemes of some of the truck manufacturers. And we said, yeah, let's give it a whirl. So we had this trailer on order, so we actually made it this color, and here it is. So as we start talking about this trailer also has air ride suspension. So this is an air ride. We'll touch on that as we work through the trailer. Before we get started, let's go ahead and take a look at the drawing. I'll show you some specs, show you how the trailer is laid out. This is an LX, so it's 8 foot wide. That's standard, 6'4" tall. We are 28 foot on the floor on this guy here. We're just shy of 8 foot on this front tack room. So a nice big front tack on this trailer that we're gonna look at here. But this thing has all the bells and whistles. If you happen to make it to our booth at Stock Show this last year, you would have seen an 8-pin very similar as far as setup and options that we're going to show you on this one. But let's go ahead and take a look. If you're unfamiliar with Cimarrons, they're all aluminum construction. You have an 8-year structure warranty, 3-year hardware warranty, 1 year no questions asked warranty on your tires. We'll talk about that. We'll just start up here at the nose. It's going to have the stainless sheeted nose cap on it. This guy is also going to have the polished extrusion, so you can see it on the bottom rail, the top rail here. You're going to have 3 marker lights up on that top rail. That became standard on the 25 models. We were doing those type of marker lights on some of our bigger, more custom trailers. They started making it standard. I think it gives it such a good look to the trailer itself. We got a B&W coupler. You're familiar with those on truck, hitches themselves. But Cimarron and B&W teamed up a couple years ago. This is the 3rd generation. They've been really good to work with. People have been very happy with these couplers, rated for 25,000 pounds. Underneath the gooseneck, you probably noticed it when we started the video. This, I think, finishes off this trailer. This is this enclosed front end here. I think, one, it gives it a good clean look and finishes the trailer off, but it does have some actual value, and that is to protect everything back here. So we got a lot going on behind it. First and foremost, we have a single leg electric over hydraulic jack. It has the manual override. That's standard with a LX package. This is a system that with that manual override, if you do get in emergency situations, you could pump it on or off the truck itself. We had a customer recently have another version from Equalizer that said, hey, I'll never own another one without the manual override. We had issues with once and we couldn't get it off the truck. They said, we skimped on that when we added it. We'll never do it again. We're really happy with this. Spare tires located over to the left. And then what I want you to notice is down low, we actually extended this. So this guy here has the expanded metal floor. So we get some airflow in there, but you also have a floor to throw items. Maybe it's your tools to change a tire, a ramp, anything like that. But over to the right, you're going to notice it has a generator bracket. This generator bracket, because we've actually extended this 16-inch deep here, this will allow for you to put a larger generator behind here and still shut the roll-up door. The standard enclosure is a 10-inch. Well, we extended it another 6. So again, you could put the bigger generator under here. This nose is actually 9'6" long, so it has that extra length. So you're gonna have a lot more storage up in the nose itself when we get up there, but this is where your generator is gonna stay. If you're actually wanting to, run with this enclosure shut, generator running, one thing we have to worry about is heat. So you're gonna have to duct your exhaust down and out. So you go down and point it back. That way that exhaust gets out of here, it doesn't heat up. If you have this enclosure shut and you have that, yes, we have the expanded metal, but it will heat up in here. And last thing we want to do is have issues with like air lines and those type of things. So if you're at a show, showing off the trailer, waiting in line somewhere, fire up the gin, just roll this enclosure up, get that airflow in there. You're gonna get your aluminum battery box. That comes with the jack itself, but we've got a 12-volt battery in here, and then we actually have our onboard compressor for the air ride system itself. So it's all self-contained, very easy to use. It's on, off, lower raise. We've got some kind of condensed videos that'll show you how to actually turn it on properly and how to shut it down properly. We can send you that. We'll talk more about this system as we work in here. But we put it in that box so it's really easy to see. A lot of times it's over here on this wall with the aluminum battery box. It's kind of hard to get to and operate and see what the gauge is at, so we put it in there. Shortly after the 25 models came out, they added this RedArc charger. So if it has this type of setup with the battery and this jack, you're gonna get this RedArc charger. This is fantastic. This guy works as a true charging system from your truck to the actual battery itself. It'll tell us if we have power coming from the truck. It'll protect the truck from, you know, potentially blowing fuses going the other way, but this is a true 3-staging charger. So your truck would always work as a trickle charger on these type of batteries, but it was very slow going. I mean, a true trickle charger. To where this, we joke that it's a supercharger. It'll keep this battery nice and charged up, a lot of longevity to it, you know, making that battery last a long time. But I also love that when you plug it into the truck, it will tell you, do I have power coming from the truck? Speaking of Fords, we've learned a couple things about Fords here recently on some of these new ones, that you have to synchronize their 12-volt in order to turn on like interior lights and to actually charge this battery. We know how to do that. It's real simple, but that guy right there helped us out quite a bit this last week on a few Fords that came to pick up new trailers. When we plugged them in, immediately we had no light there. Well, guess what? We don't have power coming. So it was really kind of easier to isolate and figure out what we had going on there. The last thing underneath there is actually going to be up underneath the gooseneck is going to be our plug-in for that 30 amp package that we have on this trailer. So where that generator sits, now we can put power to this trailer. I'll show you when we get to the tack what I'm talking about there, but that's where that actual plug lives and where you can actually plug that into. Underneath, the very last thing is going to be this 16-inch awning light. So this is the same awning light we use at the sides of the trailer, but we wanted light underneath here. There's stuff you need to work on underneath here, things you need to access. Sometimes your cab light, you know, blocks the front of the trailer. Sometimes you don't even have the truck sitting here. You can actually turn this light on and shine back here in this opening so you can see, you know, what you're doing. You get that wraparound style nose on it with it being the LX. So again, with that enclosure, I think it just really finishes the trailer off and gives it a good look. Now with this new sheeting, you know, if you stand in the lighting right and you kind of get at the right angle, you'll see the metallic flakes in this caribou color. When you obviously get it in the shade a little bit, it's going to look a little bit darker, but it is a cool color that again matches the color schemes of a lot of these new pickups out there. Now, front tack room, you know, it's amazing how this has evolved from a 4-foot front tack room to bigger and bigger and bigger. So this guy here, again, it's just shy of 7'9", so we're pretty dang close to an 8-foot front tack room on this guy, and that just allowed us with the pin systems and everything to just finish off with a 28-foot floor length. But as we go in, first thing you're gonna have is a fold-up step, so it's a lot easier coming in and out of this tack room. We understand you're gonna be carrying things. You're gonna have smaller juniors, younger juniors, that's even a fairly big step, even with this trailer aired down as it sits. But we like to put steps on all our tack rooms just to make the transition so easy going in and out of them. Then as we come in, first thing on the floor, you're gonna notice this gray rubber flooring. This is a gray rubber mat. It's cut and sealed on the sides, so we don't have to worry about dirt getting underneath it. It's got good grip to it, easy to clean. This stuff holds up in extremely high traffic areas. I never noticed it till we started putting it on the trailers. You start looking around, whether you're traveling, you're going to, you know, different events. You go to, I mean, just stairways, I found it. This stuff holds up extremely well. It's really durable, but it's really easy to clean. That's the big thing. Where rubber mats can still have the cuts in it to where dirt can get underneath it. I don't like carpet on the floor because it just can, you know, hold odor and hold the stain, and it's really hard to get them clean, but this stuff is fantastic. And if we look at this wall, so all the way around on the partition wall, and then over here on driver's side, you're gonna notice airliner track. So this airliner track can serve multiple purposes. You can just get little hooks. I always tell people, hop on Amazon, you can buy all kinds of different hooks for these in different quantities, but you can do hooks, you can move them where you want, you can clip feeders to them. If you need to position something in here and strap it down, you can, so you have high and low. Cimarron also makes an additive bucket holder, so it holds 2 of the additive buckets, so it'll clip in here and then it'll fold down when you don't have those in here. But if you needed to haul some of that type of stuff, you could do that, and you have a ton of space in here with the size of this tack room. And then on the partition wall above it is going to be some of their big utility hooks. These are aluminum powder coated, so they're really strong. But I love these hooks. They don't just use their standard horse trailer hooks, which a lot of manufacturers do. They understand we're going to be dragging big cords, big hoses, those type of items. You know, it's nice to be able to hang them on here because of the depth and spacing and even the height of them. But again, really durable with them being the aluminum powder coated. And then carpet all the way around on the walls to protect items as they kind of shift, maybe as you're driving there. So on the gooseneck drop wall, we shifted the boot box. We got you a boot box. It's an 18-inch. Partial across here. There's your cord down here. We just threw it in there. But as you can see, it's kind of a catch-all for kind of those smaller miscellaneous items that you need to. We like the 18 because if for some reason you're dragging a big water bucket, it will fit in this guy, the 12-inch, because of this front lip. And then the back that we need, that opening, this will allow the bigger buckets. So works as a great bench as well. So if you're hanging out here showing off of it and just need to get off your feet, if you need to hop up into the gooseneck, you can do that with that. But we kept it off this side of the wall. That way you have a lot more storage space over here on the ground itself. 4-inch tube that goes across. This is removable, but it'll hold items up here in this deck area if need be. And then as you can see, up in the nose, we've got LED lights up here. We tried not to skimp lights on here. We put 4 lights in this tack room. Again, it's a deep nose, it's a wide trailer, it's a big tack room, so let's have plenty of lights. So we have 2 up in the nose itself. Over here to the left is going to be our breaker box. So that's where that 30-amp breaker that we saw below plugs into. So we have our breaker here. We have a set of outlets, charge a phone, you know, maybe need to run a laptop, something like that. Just plug something in general in here, you can do that from right here. Maybe you're showing off of this and you just take a little microwave and you throw up here and warm something up for lunch. You know, it's nice to have this plug in right here and it's tucked out of the way. On the opposite side, over there on the right-hand side, you're gonna notice a tray. That is a storage tray for some plexiglass that we have on this trailer. We'll show you that in the stall area when we get there, but that is where those pieces are gonna stay. It's nice to have places for items to live. That way they just don't get thrown and potentially broken and misplaced, and you know, again, keeping things nice and organized. You're also gonna have a shelf with a clothes bar, so you can throw some items up in here. It's 18 inches deep, has a 2-inch lip. Clothes bar so you can hang clothes, so maybe you don't wanna hang clothes in the back seat of the pickup. Show shirts, maybe you're showing off the trailer, send the kids in here, they can change in their show shirt and step right back into the stall area. Because we have this pass-through door that goes into the stall area here from the front tack room. So you can work between the two from right here. So again, maybe you're prepping feed, you know, working back and forth. It's nice to have that where you actually don't have to go outside the trailer and around. So that kind of covers it in here. You'll notice head pad. I did not warn our camera guy Jody today. Typically I do on these low pro trailers because it has happened, but I knew he'd be okay with the head pads because we try to put these head pads on these lower profile trailers because look, you do have the potential of whacking your head on those guys and it's not very fun. So we've got head pads. You can see right here on this side ramp, it's got one over there too. And then as you can see, here it is, there's that side ramp. So you can work off the side of this trailer right here, moving up, you know, whether it's your animals in and out, you in and out, whatever you need to. It's nice because it's a 10 pin that you can go different directions in this trailer. You know, maybe you've got some animals at the back that have already shown and your next ones are up here and you're prepping, so you can bring them out here right off the side of the trailer. And then you've got an extra gate over this opening. And as you can see, we've got the other door open on the other side of the trailer, and it has a gate too. So when you get somewhere and you want to get some airflow or really open this guy up, you can, and you don't have to worry about anybody trying to get out because we've got the gates over the opening. So definitely a nice feature there. You're gonna have a load light above that tack door, a 16-inch. That's very, again, just like the one we saw underneath the gooseneck a minute ago. It's nice to have plenty of light. I'll shut this guy because one, you need to appreciate the color of this trailer, but then also you're gonna have a combo lock. So you don't necessarily have to have the keys. You can send somebody to the trailer as long as that combo lock is there and this latch is not locked. They can punch in the code and get into the trailer, so we don't have to find keys to actually get in itself. So on that top rail, you've got a lot of marker lights. We put a bunch on these guys. These trailers just really look cool at night by having more lights. We've had some customers go every foot. We've done on them on the bottom rail, so that type of stuff can be done if we're gonna build you a trailer. This one here, again, extremely well loaded. So, but if you wanted to go the custom route, we can do that. With the LX, you're gonna get your drop windows. So as you can see, we've got those drops. You have jail bars as well. They'll fold down. These are also bus windows. So if you wanted to cut down on some of the airflow, you can shut these and just slide these if you want. But then if you look down low, we've got the lower air slat on these aluminum fold-ups. So rather than having to pull plexi out, in most cases with a smaller opening, with these you get a larger opening, so you get more airflow down low to these small animals, which is key. But these guys here, we don't have to worry about, you know, just pulling the plexiglass out. You can just drop everything, shut everything up. There is plexiglass on the inside because on some of these, some customers really want to seal them up, especially in like the winter months where, you know, that maybe they've got some heaters running in there, don't want to lose the cold air. There is plexiglass on the inside that does remove. If you have it removed in kind of those warmer months, again, you can just flip these guys down. But that's where that plexiglass is going to go, is up there in that front tack room that I showed you. Amber turn signal. We do this on a lot of our 8-wide trailers, longer trailers. It's just a nice extra light that works as a marker light for you, but it indicates when you hit your brakes, when you put on your blinkers. It's a long trailer, so sometimes a lot of people don't pay attention to trailers. It's at least in the middle to where if maybe they're right at the back of the trailer and they don't realize your blinkers are on there, that guy will flash and they understand you're trying to get over. Okay, let's move to the axles. So 7,000-pound axles, electric brakes, 16-inch wheels, the black with silver, but then we upgraded to a 14-ply tire, so a little heavier duty tire. Once again, this is an air ride setup. So this trailer is aired down right now. Anytime you're loading animals or equipment, feed, whatever it is you need to put in the trailer, we recommend you actually drop it and lower it down. And the reason why is when we air it up, it'll pick it up about 2.5 inches. So it'll raise the whole box. When we do that, it makes your ramp steeper. So when it's lower, it's a smaller step getting in the front tack room, and the ramps aren't as steep going in and out. So this air ride, it's a fantastic setup that Dexter has. It's their Airflex system. It has actually rubber torsion axles with shocks, and then the air ride itself. So if something happens to align a bag, the compressor, it sits just out how it is right now, and you can still pull the trailer. The old air ride systems, you couldn't move the trailers, but with this one you can. But believe me, it is an investment, but you have to understand, and we understand, the amount of time and money you're putting into these animals and going to these shows, and you want them to compete at the highest level. Give them every opportunity to compete at that highest level and put them on air ride. We hear it time and time again. You know, at Stock Show, we heard it from so many customers that came in the booth. I'll never own another trailer without an air ride. That is the most common thing we hear from customers. We're big believers in it. I believe 3 of our 5 trailers sitting at the stock show all had air ride on it, and we usually keep a wide variety, whether it's you know, a trailer like this, our show cattle trailers, even our horse trailers. We put a lot of air ride on our trailers because of what it does for the animals. It is amazing ride for them, and again, let's give them the best opportunity to compete at the highest level, and you get that when you put them on air ride. Now, tires, I mentioned that a little bit. So the vendor that Cimarron uses will actually stand behind the tires from the day you purchase it for 1 year. So if you have a blowout, you catch road debris, you catch a nail that punctures a sidewall, something along those lines, they will give you a new tire, no questions asked, within the first year. Now, don't just dispose of the tire. Get some information, get us some pictures, some codes off of it, and then we can help you out with that process. You're gonna notice a wraparound door. These wraparound hinges, we started doing a few years ago. They made them standard. It's fantastic because if you're showing off the trailer, it really wraps around the side, where the welded hinge version actually goes off on a 90 on it. So we were noticing a lot of people are constantly opening and closing doors at shows because of them 90'd off, to where if you wrap them around, it's so easy to work off this trailer. You just kind of leave them and go. Okay, at the back, we'll just start at the top. Okay, we've got 2 16-inch awning lights up there. Again, match the ones we saw. You're gonna notice on these tail lights, the white X, that is a backup light. So when you throw this into reverse, those guys will turn on, so you have light coverage. You're getting places unfamiliar, getting home at night. It's nice to have the lights, and you have that. You know, think about where your truck is. This trailer's 28 foot on the floor. So to throw your truck in reverse and get lights, they're almost worthless back here. It's nice to have those. That's a newer feature that they've done. We kept putting so many backup lights on our inventory and custom builds for customers. Cimarron went out and found these new lights that have that built in there. So we're really excited about that and happy with that. The rear doors are independent, so you can shut either one, doesn't matter. And then we work down into 50/50 rear ramps. The 50/50 is fantastic, especially for, once again, your younger juniors. You know, they're not as heavy because it's not the full width. It's a lot easier for them to open and close these as well. I even enjoy them when they're a little bit lighter. So you're gonna notice we have these white powder coated pins. So we did white just because it kind of matches the interior here with the actual lining on the inside, but the powder coating is fantastic, especially for our, you know, white hogs, lambs, goats. When they rub against these pins, they get those black marks from the aluminum. So we did powder coating on these guys. Again, this is a 10 pin. These are adjustable. So we can go, right now everything's set up 50/50, but all I have to do is unpin it, and I can pull towards myself, swing it over, lock it into place, and now it's 60/40. It's that easy. It's nice to be able to just have all this flexibility. If you want just an alleyway, make pins bigger. If you need to make things, you know, split them, just it is a nice feature to have. The old ones, boy, you had to unpin them, move them, line everything up, repin them. It took a while. This here is so fluid and so simple to move these back and forth. We don't have to worry about anything as far as actually unpinning and actually moving it. It's all on one hinge, so it's very easy to swing. You're gonna have 2 feeder rods, high and low on each side. That way you just, as projects maybe get a little bit bigger and you need to elevate some feeders, you can do that. But the powder coating pins is definitely a nice feature to have on here. And again, with all these LED lights that we have in here, with the white paneling on the walls around the windows, and then on the pins themselves, you know, it's really bright in this trailer itself. Over on that side, we'll just kind of cover a couple things. You're gonna see some outlets. So we have 3 outlets on each side of this trailer. So up in the top rail, you've got some spaced evenly spread out. That way, look, if you need to do anything, you've got the flexibility to do it because you already have the outlets there. And then you're also gonna notice that rod up there is gonna be for your feeders. So if maybe you're prepping feed and you need to clip it somewhere, you can clip it, separate somebody if you need to. or when somebody's done, you can just grab it and turn around, clip it, do what you need to. It just kind of keeps things up and out of the way. So that's something that we've been adding here over the last, you know, probably 2 years or so along those lines, but definitely nice to have that. We get a lot of questions at Denver about that, and a lot of people are quizzing us, how do I get that in my current trailer? And it's very easy to do. Just get a hold of Cimarron and we can figure out links for you. You're gonna notice, so on the right-hand side of the pins is they're hinged off the wall, and then the other ones are hinged off the actual center itself, lengthwise, and over here on driver's side. It just flows so much better because we have that side ramp, and then this is the 40 side, so more of your alleyway. Again, everything flows a lot better by having those actually hinged off the wall themselves rather than the pins. But if you wanted to remove sections, you can just unpin what you need to, and then actually remove the post. So you can open this up. I know we've got a number of customers that occasionally will throw on a steer or a heifer or something along those lines, and you can just take a section out and throw them in there. As we work forward, over there on driver's side, again, we've got a couple switches over here at this ramp, because as you come in, you can turn on your interior lights, that side of your load lights over there. So we've added that switch there. You're gonna have two-way roof vents, one above each pin. So we have 10 of them. So there's one above each one. Again, manipulating airflow, it definitely makes a big difference. You can do so much in here where sometimes you might have too much airflow. You're gonna notice just shavings are everywhere, maybe on the backs of your projects, and maybe you have too much. You can kind of dial it back. You can, you know, reduce these a little bit, shut up the windows, shut up down low, or open them up. You have a lot of versatility there. But you also have this insulated roof. That's gonna be a big help for you as well, keeping this nice and cool versus aluminum sheeted roofs. 20% cooler versus those when you have this standard insulated roof. It's on every single Cimarron, doesn't matter what model, size trailer, they all have it. It also takes substantial hail. So this guy here will hold up versus those aluminum sheeted trailers quite a bit in hailstorms. It would have to be significant hail to do damage to these roofs. But this is a low profile trailer, so heat rises. So it's holding that heat down low, but that roof makes such a big difference on keeping it cool in here, you don't even notice that. Speaking of, we went ahead and put an air conditioner in here as well for you. So this is a 13.5 BTU. So you have air conditioning on here. Again, that's where your power package comes into play, because your 30 amp package and your generator will be able to handle this guy. So we have fully insulated the sidewalls on this guy. You have the insulated roof. So again, it's gonna keep this nice and cool for you. It's nice to have that air conditioning option, but again, the insulation is key to that as well. You really need that in order to keep it nice and cool. So again, you're lining insulated around your windows. Here's a good look at that plexiglass from the inside. So again, it's gonna kind of trap some of that, you know, air from either leaving or leaking in a little bit too, especially when we get in these winter months. But again, you can take that out and then use those fold down slats there. But then I want you to notice down below, we've actually taken this concept from our horse trailers, and that is this rubber mat down low. So once again, it would be either bare aluminum from the inside of the extrusion, or we would line it with the white sheeting that you see up above. Well, you know, it's just it has the potential of people just rubbing on stuff. This is kick mat from our horse trailers. We put it down low. I know it's been really well received by customers. A lot of questions again at Stock Show. Hey, what is that? My trailer doesn't have that. We even did it on the wheel wells. So again, that's usually bare aluminum where, you know, a hog can lay against, and then as they're traveling or rub against it, you know, again, they get those black marks. Well, now we don't have to worry about that. It goes all the way around, even on the front wall, and we even did it on the back. Doors themselves, not as big of a deal because we have the gates over those, but we just went ahead and did it so it all matches. And then on the floor, worm flooring. So this is black worm flooring, that's standard. If you wanted a custom color, that could be done, but this one here, we just did black to match the walls. This stuff is fantastic too. We don't have to worry about pulling rubber mats up or just bedding. This one here, you know, it's going to protect that floor. It's never going to let urine, you know, that acidic urine get down to the floor itself, protecting that aluminum. You know, you're going to go ahead and bed muck everything out, power wash it out, nose it up, come in through the side ramp or the side door with your power washer and go out with it. That simple. On driver's side, same thing, outlets, LED lights, but then you're going to notice we did two 18-inch fans in here. And you're going to notice this airliner track, same airliner track that we saw in the front tack room, but we put it on the roof bows and spread them out. So if you wanted to move these fans, you can. I know some customers also like to get some little portable heaters that plug in, you know, and you come to Denver, and we had of course, that weekend that hogs were moving in, it was brutally cold, so nice to have some heat in here, and you can do that. So you can swap these guys in or out, but it's nice to have the fans. The 18s, you know, don't hang too far down low to where they interfere with any of the gates or anything like that. And speaking of, these guys here are actually 31-inch tall, so standard's 37. We cut it down 6 inches because as you're just kind of leaning over, grabbing feeders, doing things, it's nice to have these a little bit shorter. I think that about covers it in here. I know there's a ton of stuff on this trailer, so I don't want to miss anything, but I think we've got it all handled there. Again, pads coming in and out. So as you're coming out mainly is when you're going to notice it. Going in, at least you're lower, working into the trailer itself. All your light switches are right here, so we can turn on these backs each side in the stall area, but then again you have that secondary switch up front there as well. There's a good look at that rubber down low. I'm going to get this door out of the way because I'll want to shut this side up, so again you can just see this new color and how it all ties together here towards the end. So same thing, you've got your drop down windows. Everything's keyed alike, so I can lock my tack door. These drop windows are back doors, all with one key. Again, the polished extrusion down low, and then the access door going into that stall area with a fold-up step. So it's got a fold-up step as well, getting in and out of that stall area. But that polished extrusion, you know, you need to treat it a little bit different than just your mill finish aluminum trailer. You're not going to acid wash this trailer. You need to citrus wash it. It brightens it up. Don't use like dish soap, anything like that. But like acid, those type of deals will burn it to where you have to repolish it. But again, as you can see, we're a little bit on the shaded side on this trailer right now. So again, that caribou brown with those metallic flakes in it's going to appear a little bit darker here. But again, it looks really cool, and it does match those Fords. So another load light at that access door, so you have those lights getting in and out of this trailer. So we've got this trailer here available. We also have some other trailers on the lot that, you know, we have 8-pin, we have some other 10 pins, we have air rides on order. We just sold one the other day, we reordered. We have some non-air ride trailers on hand, on order. We can custom build whatever you want. These guys here are fantastic to build, and again, we can set it up and make it function however you want. But I'm going to give you the stock number for reference. Again, it's a 2025 Cimarron Showstar LX air ride 10-pin. Stock number is 5N241348. We do take trade-ins, so if you're looking to upgrade or downsize, we can help you there. Delivery is an option, so we could potentially bring it to your door, and financing is available as well. So give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. Appreciate you tuning in. Have a good day.